I'm Jennifer Sparko, Youth Services Manager here at Blount County Public Library, and we've got our department mascot, Spooky Steve, helping us out today. A year ago, the library celebrated its centennial, and part of that celebration was the first Cormac McCarthy Literary Festival. So we're going to be having some videos where folks talk about Cormac McCarthy and his literary legacy, but I wanted to talk about that genre, Southern Gothic fiction, as it relates to children's literature, because we're here in the children's library. Some people may think that Southern Gothic is an inappropriate fit for children's books. It involves things that are kind of dark, things that are grotesque, things that are eccentric at best. But there's some really good middle grades fiction that really fit within that genre. And I'm going to tell you about a couple of my favorites. The first one is Ashes to Asheville by Sarah Dooley. The tone of the book is that blend of macabre and whimsical that is really hard to achieve, and I think really is a good example of the lighter side of Gothic literature. The plot concerns two young girls, a teenager and a younger girl, who are traveling across a couple of states to return one of their mother's ashes, as the title suggests, to Asheville, where the family used to be happy. So there's definitely that dark undercurrent. It's definitely got the complicated families that you find in adult Southern Gothic literature. But it's ultimately a really redemptive and loving story. And I really, really enjoyed it. Ashes to Asheville by Sarah Dooley. I did not intentionally pick two books set in Asheville, but I ended up picking two books set in Asheville. This is a book a lot of you are probably familiar with because it has been wildly popular. This is Seraphina and the Black Cloak by Robert Beatty. It's the first of a series, and this is definitely the other side of Southern Gothic. This is that more creepy, spooky side, definitely with some fantastical elements. You see that a lot in the paranormal romance side of Gothic literature. You see that sometimes in the mysteries and definitely in the horror side of the genre. So this has got a little bit of a toe there, but there's nothing in here that would be upsetting for most, I would say probably upper elementary and middle school readers. Seraphina and the Black Cloak is set in Biltmore, back in the day when it was somebody's home and not a tourist attraction. And Seraphina is a very mysterious child who lives in the basement and moves quietly through the night of that amazing house. She catches rats, which is a very important service, and she's very good at it. Part of the reason she's good at it is that Seraphina is not entirely human. And I won't say much more about it because that's part of the fun of exploring Seraphina and the Black Cloak. Both of these books, like I said, are set in Asheville, and there's definitely been a real move in Southern Gothic literature towards Appalachia. We tend to think, typically of Faulkner and Mississippi and those trees laden with Spanish moss. But you'll find a lot of great Southern Gothic literature for kids and for grown-ups that are set in the Southern Appalachian Mountains. These are two of them, and I recommend both.